Now, what does the Pope mean by saying that the Church needs to find a balance when it comes to gays, abortion, contraception? What does he mean by that?
I think the important thing that we're looking at here is the Pope speaking as he has been addressed by the whole world as the world's parish priest. I think that's an important element to consider here. He is speaking about issues versus individuals. So when we talk about issues, we're going to be dealing with a lot of those hot button pieces of legislation and different kinds of things. But what Pope is speaking about in this article, in this interview, is precisely the whole idea of being a pastor, talking to an individual and seeing an individual who is made in the image and the likeness of God. Probably the best thing to say is what John Henry Cardinal Newman spoke about, heart to heart. He said, cor ad cor loquitur. Heart speaking to heart. The heart of Jesus in me speaking to the heart of Jesus in you. And I think that's what the Holy Father is talking about. We need to move away from labels and from different other kinds of ideologies to the very fact that I'm dealing with a human being in front of me who is made in the image and the likeness of God.
So this Pope really wants to get down to working with people.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's an important one.
Now, in the Pope's words, I'm going to quote him here, the Church has sometimes locked itself in small things, in small-minded rules. What do you think of that? What do you believe in that statement?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, you know, the Church has ritual, the Church has rules, and the Church has a lot of different kinds of things that you know, we have kind of settled into as being normative. And after a while, normative starts to become legislative. And I think what the Holy Father is trying to talk to us about is maybe move away from some of the things that were normative and get off from making them legislative and see how that helps us to deal with human beings and how we kind of come into contact with people.
Will this change how you, other priests in the La Crosse area and surrounding communities, preach to their congregations?
Well, no, not necessarily. I'm going to say, obviously, this is a big deal. This is a major and important thing. But actually, as I listened and read what the Holy Father was saying, I was saying, yes, this is exactly what I've done. I mean, I have dealt with individuals. I have seen them as made in the image and the likeness of God. I have tried to reach out in a lot of ways as a pastor of souls in a parish, and certainly now as a bishop within the diocese. And I think this is exactly what the Pope is talking about, that the shepherds are supposed to go into the dark and lead with the people and be there with them, and then lead them, as the Good Shepherd does, into better places and into newer understandings and better ways of looking at themselves.
So do you think the Pope is asking for priests like yourself to really ask those questions of themselves?
Yes.
And to almost do a checks and balances on their own preaching?
Yes.
Am I being this person?
Certainly, sure. And I think you know, we are called to that every single day of our lives as priests and every single day of our lives as pastors. That no one of us, as the Pope says, I am a sinner. I know my sins. And I think each and every priest will know that too about himself, and then be able to reach out to others and be able to say, yeah, but by the grace of God, I'm saved.
Now, do you think this at all is a small step towards the Church's changing its stance on, let's say, the gay population?
Well, I think it would be wonderful if people would actually listen to the Church's stance on homosexuality and speaking to the issue of same-sex attraction. The Church has always said that we love the person. It's the actions that make the difference. So it's not going to be a fact that, you know, we're not going to love the person who is before us, whether he or she, you know, has same-sex attraction or doesn't or whatever it may be. But the point of the matter is that, you know, do I see you as a person? And am I willing to engage you as a person? And I think that's the issue. And that's what this Pope is saying. So I don't want to necessarily see you as a homosexual. I want to see you as a human being. And I think that's what everybody's trying to talk about right now. And I think he's got an answer for us right there.
All right. Well, we are unfortunately out of time, but I do thank you for continuing this conversation.
My pleasure. Good to be with you. Thank you.
Mark?